1, 2. Ah! Hi everybody, welcome back to the Nerd Shelves. My name's Michael, and I'm playing a game that was sent to me by the good people over at Power Slam. I was lucky enough to receive one of their advanced review copies of this prototype of Power Slam, the wrestling card game. So I've had a chance to learn how to play and give it a go, and I'm here to tell you my thoughts. So come join me at the table when we take a look at Power Slam. Power Slam is a wrestling card game for 2 to 4 players. Strike, throw, grapple your opponents before you pin them to become the champion of Power Slam. In Power Slam, players attack other players, block attacks, and try to pin their opponents. There are 4 different modes that you can play with Power Slam, but for this review, we are going to be using the 2-player one-on-one mode. To set up Power Slam, the wrestling card game, shuffle the main deck and place it in the center of the table as a draw pile. Then set the pin deck to the side. Deal each player 6 cards from the main deck. You'll also need a pen and paper to keep track of your star power, which is also your health. You are now ready to play Power Slam. On their turn, players can form the following actions in this order. First, to build, you may take cards from your hand and put them into groups in front of you. These become your moves, ready to be used in the attack phase. Players can also choose to skip the build phase and move straight to the second action. Next, the player may discard any cards from their hand they do not wish to keep. Once cards have been discarded, it is now time for the third phase, which is the attack phase. You can attack any player in the game using moves from your move groups already put on the table. There are 4 kinds of moves in the game: strike, throw, grapple, and special moves. For all moves except for strikes, you must also play an activation card to activate that move. Strikes do not need an activation card, but do need a total of 3 slam stars in the group as indicated by the stars at the top of each card. A successful strike deals 1 damage to your opponent, but they do have a chance to block the move. If your opponent plays a counter card, the move is blocked, unless you can play a counter card yourself, blocking their block. If your opponent plays the final counter card, the move is not successful and the whole group of cards is discarded. But if they cannot block your move, you deal them damage. To throw your opponent, you must have 2 throw cards in the group and must be able to play a throw activation card from your hand. Throw moves can be built and activated in the same turn. Successful throw moves with 2 different throw cards reduces your opponent's star power by 1, but can be blocked with 1 counter card. Throw moves with 2 matching cards will reduce your opponent's star power by 2 and cannot be blocked. To grapple your opponent, you first need to build up to 2 grapple cards in your group and then play a grapple activation card from your hand. But these cannot be built and activated on the same turn. Grapple cards are played in the group in ascending order. If your opponent is able to block the grapple move, both cards are discarded from the game. However, If it is successful, the grapple holds and your opponent cannot build or activate a move on their turn. Instead, they may only discard and draw. Then when the turn comes back to you, your opponent loses the damage on the first grapple card. And that card is then discarded. If there is a second card in your grapple group, that card is now activated and your opponent has another chance to block it. But again, holding if unblocked and not allowing your opponent to build or activate moves on their turn. Finally, special moves need to be played in pairs. A special move not only needs to be activated by the corresponding attack activation card, but also a special activation card must be played from your hand. Like grapple moves, special moves cannot be built and activated on the same turn. A successful special move will reduce the opponent's star power by 4 points and can only be blocked by 2 counter cards. However, you may block their block with only 1 counter card. Anytime a player has performed a successful move on their opponent, they may attempt to pin them. Depending on how many star power points your opponent has, fill the pin deck with the correct number of check marks and X's. The weaker your opponent is, the more checks you will have in the deck and will have a greater chance of success. Shuffle the deck and 1 card at a time, flip over the top card. If 3 checks in a row are turned over, you have pinned your opponent. However, if an X is flipped, your opponent has kicked out and play continues. Players take turns building groups, activating moves, and trying to successfully pin their opponents. Be the first player to pin your opponent, and you are the champion of Power Slam, the wrestling card game. So there you have it, Power Slam, the wrestling card game. Now, I had a lot of fun with this game. I mean, when I was younger, I was a huge wrestling fan, so that probably played a role in why I like this game so much. You know, I just loved the theme. It was so fun. But it was really thematic. I mean, I love the fact that the actions in the game really fit the theme. I thought that was really, really cool. Let's talk about the cards themselves, first of all. I really like the art in this game. The art on these cards, I mean, first of all, it's so well done, but they just make me laugh every time. Some of the pictures are just so funny. But what I like most about these cards is at the bottom of the cards, it actually tells you what needs to happen in order to activate that card. I think that is really clever. I think that is a great idea, especially when you have different groups needing different things to happen in order to activate. I think it was just such a clever idea to put that at the bottom of the card. It really helps when you're playing the game. But I mean, the cards they're great. It's fantastic. They're bright, they're colorful. Each type of move is corresponded by a different color and it's very easy to see. Yeah, great. I love it. The art is fantastic. Yeah, the game itself, I've only played it with 2 players, so I can't speak to the other modes in the game. They all have different end conditions, which sound pretty cool, and I would love to give it a try. But one-on-one, it's fast, it's quick. We had this game done really quickly, which is awesome, so you can just play through it and play it again if you want. It doesn't overstay its welcome. Just a really super fun filler card game. Also, I mean, I don't know what the finished product is going to look like, as this is just a prototype, but I mean, you can throw this in your bag, you can take it anywhere, super small. I love small boxed games. I think that's fantastic, and I wish there were more of them around. So overall, I really have nothing negative to say about Power Slam. It's just a really fun, quick card filler game. I highly encourage you to at least check out Power Slam if you haven't done so already. So there you have it, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and click that subscribe button and the notification bell so you know when we post new videos. Now, go ahead and get another game off of your nerd shelves. Take care. Bye.